Hello friends, today we are going to discuss line by line explanation of the poem The Inchcape Rock written by Robert Southey. The Inchcape Rock, which is situated in the mid of the ocean in the Scotland. When we talk about the water life or traveling through the seaway, we definitely come in our mind about the ship. In this particular poem, the Inchcape Rock, we talk about the one of the bell, which is the Inchcape bell. The reference of the Inchcape bell comes there. The poem, which is written by Robert Southey. Rob was born on 1774 and he lived his life till the 1843. He was born in Bristol, England. He was the son of a draper, educated at the Westminster School and Balliol College, Oxford. He was a poet laureate of England from 1813 to 1843. Some of his short poems like The Scholar, The Battle of Pelham, Bishop Hatto, The Inchcape Rock, etc. are very popular with the school children. Now we are going to discuss about the poem. The Inchcape Rock is a ballad. It is the story of 14th century attempt by the abbot of Aberbrothock to install a warning bell on Inchcape, a notorious sandstone reef about 11 miles, means 18 kilometers off the east coast of Angus, Scotland, near Dundee and Fife, occupied by the Bell Rock Lighthouse. Southey was inspired by the legendary story of a pirate who removed the bell on the Inchcape Rock placed by the abbot of Aberbrothock. The poem gives us a message that those who do wrong things will meet with due punishment. Now we are going to discuss this poem stanza wise. No stir in the air, no stir in the sea. The ship was as still as the cloud be. Her sails from heaven received no motions. Her keel was steady in the ocean. In this stanza, poet talks about the atmosphere on the sea. There is no movement on the sea. There is no stir in the air as well as no stir in the sea. Means the atmosphere on the sea is calm and quiet. And he talks about that in that atmosphere the ship was as still as she could be. And the ship was also there motionless, we can say that. Without either sign or sound of their shock, the waves followed over the Inchcape Rock. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the Inchcape bell. There is no sign or sound of any shock is there. The waves over the sea are followed over the rock, and so little there is no air or just we discussed in the first stanza that there is no any movement on the sea, so that's why there is no tides also. So little they rose, so little they fell. They did not move the Inchcape bell. The atmosphere is calm and quiet. That's why, which is the bell on the Inchcape Rock is there, is also there is no movement is there. There is no voice of the bell is also we listen. The abbot of Aberbrothock had placed that bell on the Inchcape Rock. On a buoy in the storm, it floated and swung over the waves. It warning rung. In this stanza, the poet talks about that the abbot of Aberbrothock, who was the monk in the 14th century, has placed this bell on that Inchcape Rock. On a buoy. Buoy means what? It is a floating object which shows the sign of danger, which is floating on a water. and over the waves it warning them. When the level of the water is increasing, that time the bell started to ring. When the rock was hit by the surge swell means what? Sudden great rise in the level of the sea. When the water of the level is going to rise, that time it creates the voice. So when the rock was hit by the surge swell, the mariners heard the warning bell, and then they knew the perilous rock and blessed the abbot of Aberbrothock. When the sailors heard the warning bell which is placed on the Inchcape rock, they heard the ringing of the bell and they knew that this bell is ringing on a perilous rock. When, and due to that bell, they are not it is easy to them to remain safe from this rock. So those people are going to give blessing to the abbot of Aberotha who has placed this bell in this dangerous rock. The sun in heaven was shining gay. All things were joyful on that day. The sea birds screamed as they wheeled, wheeled around, wheeled round, and there was joy in their sound. That day, the sun in heaven was shining gay. The sun too was very happy. All things were joyful on that day. The sea birds screamed as they flew around, and there was joy in their sound. Sun was happy. The atmosphere on sea was happy. Due to that, because of that, sea birds also happy. They are screamed round and round, and because of that, the atmosphere on the sea is very joyous, happy. The boy of the Inchcape bell was seen, a darker speck on the ocean green. Sir Ralph the rower walked his deck, and he fixed his eyes on the darker speck. Sir Ralph the rower, he is a sea pirate, and when he was on the voyage that day, he has seen the floating object on the water. He has seen a darker spot on a green ocean, and he was walking on the deck. He fixed his eyes on that the speck. He felt the cheering power of spring. He made him whistle, it made him sing. His heart was mirthful to excess, but the roar's myth was wickedness. When he has seen this spot, that time he became very happy, and he whistled, he started to sing. His heart became very mirthful, and he but it is not the happiness which gives the happiness to the others, but there is wickedness in his happiness. His eyes was on the Inchcape float. Quoth he, my men, put out the boat and row me to the Inchcape rock, and I will plug the abbot of Aberbrothock. His eyes are fixed on the Inchcape float. He ordered his men that move the ship towards the Inchcape rock because he want to remove the bell which he has seen on Inchcape rock. The boat is lowered. The boatsmen row, and to the Inchcape rock they go. Sir Ralph bent over from the boat, and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float. The purpose of coming here of the Sir Ralph the rower was to cut the bell. So when they moved towards the Inchcape rock, Sir Ralph bent over the boat, and he cut the bell from the Inchcape float. Down sunk the bell with a gurgling sound. The bubbles rose and burst around. Quoth Sir Ralph, the next who comes to the rock won't bless the abbot of Aberbrothock, because the bell was on the Inchcape rock, and it is a perilous rock which create danger to the sailors, to the mariners, and because of that, the Inchcape bell is on the rock. It gives the sign of the danger. So the mariners, the sailors, give the blessing to the abbot of Aberbrothock, who has placed this bell on this rock, and which is the bell saves the so many people's life. Now the bell was cut by the Sir Ralph the Roar, and when the bell was sinking in the water, it creates the voice, and it is a gurgling sound, and also create the bubble. Bubbles are coming on the surface of the water, and it burst around. Sir Ralph said, "The next who comes to the rock won't bless the abbot of Aberbrothock." And he says in happiness that now the abbot of Aberbrothock will not the blessings from the sailors. Sir Ralph the Roar sailed away. He scoured the seas for many a day, and now grown rich with plundered store, he steers his course for Scotland's shore. Now, after that, he sailed away from there, and he grown rich. He has collected the wealth, and now he has decided that he will go direct the course of the ship towards the Scotland shore. So thick a haze overspread the sky. They can't see the sun on high. The wind hath blown a gale all day. At evening it hath died away. And automatically, or the atmosphere in the on the sea has changed. So thick a haze overspread the sky. The layer of the haze overspread the sky. Haze means mist. The layer of the mist overspread on the sky, and they can't see the sun on the sky, and also the wind also had blown a gale all day, and at the evening it had died away. So atmosphere on the sea automatically or eventually changed. On the deck the rower takes his stand. So dark it is, they see no land. So when there was the day, the time also they can't see the sun on a high sky because of the mist overspread in the sky. And now in the night time also they can't see anything. So on that particular situation, on the deck, the rower takes its stand. So dark it is, they see on no land. Quoth Sir Ralph, it will be lighter soon, for there is the dawn of the rising moon. They feel that might be it is the dawn time, and within a few hours there will be the morning, and there might be the rising moon. So they are thinking that within a little time they will be reached on the shore. "Canst hear," said one, "the breakers roar? For me thinking we should be near the shore. Now where we are I can't tell, but I wish I could hear the Inchcape bell." Now they can't hear anything, but they think that we should be near the shore. But if there is the bell, then we could easily locate where we are. But I wish today we can't listen the ringing of the bell, because we can't hear, because Ralph the Roar has cut the bell. They hear no sound, the swell is strong. Though the wind hath fallen, they drift along, till the vessel strikes with a shivering shock. O Christ, it is Inchcape rock. And in this particular atmosphere, they can't hear any sound, they can't see anything there. And also, now that day, there is no the bell which gives the way to prevent from the danger. And at that time, the ship was stuck to the rock. And the time they come to know that it is a Inchcape rock, we are caught in danger. Now Sir Ralph the rower tore his hair. He crushed himself in his despair. The waves rush in every side. The ship is sinking beneath the tide. And the ship was stuck to the rock. So because of that, the water started to come in over the from different way or different side in on the ship, and the ship started to sinking beneath the tide. And now the Ralph the rower started to tear his hair. He started to crust himself that in despair that he might not be cut the bell which gives the way to the other that might show the way that day to Sir Ralph the rower too. But even in the dying fear, one dreadful sound could be the roar here, a sound as if with the Inchcape bell the devil blue was ringing his knell. But even this dying situation also, dying fear, also, one dreadful sound could the roar listen, a sound as if with the Inchcape bell. That time he feel that might be it is the sound of the Inchcape bell, but that sound was not the sound of Inchcape bell, but it is the devil knell which is ringing. Devil blue was ringing his knell. Through this poem, the writer Robert Southey wants to give the message that as you sow, so shall you reap. Then, in this particular poem, poet has used antithesis, simile, personification, and inversion. Also, it is a ballad. It is a long narrative poem. There are having 17 stanzas in this particular poem. The poem gives us a message that those who do wrong things will meet with the due punishment. Thank you. Thank you very much.